Vinyl community. I'm back to do a recent vinyl finds video, and it's been a while, like 2 months, since I did the last one, maybe more. First of all, I've been moving. That's why I haven't been doing any videos. We moved to a house. We lived in a 3-room apartment in town. And we moved to a house on the countryside where both me and my girl were raised. So we went home, so to speak. It's a big ass house with 2 floors and a cellar. A nice cellar, not the creepy kind. And the cellar is where I'm at right now. So this is the room where I store the records, some of it at least, and other nerdy stuff like books and record cleaning machine, and we have some furniture here and carpets and stuff like that. Hopefully soon I'll get a record, a turntable and a receiver, because there is the other guy who lived here before built-in speakers in the walls, so it's just like jacking it up, and I have music down here too. But the main audio equipment is upstairs in the living room, where also the jazz records are and new finds and stuff like that. So that's where I'm playing my music. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's great. We are really happy, and my daughter too. Just yeah, it's hard to describe. And yeah, mind-blowing. Haven't been contributing to the VC because of that, and I haven't watched any videos. I watched Fred's videos, some of them, and I watched one of Derek's, I think, but the other ones I'm still waiting to watch when everything settles here. So Mark and John and yeah, Miko, Kevin, a lot of you guys, Tom, yeah. So and Dr. Deadwax had a video up with VC Meetup. A lot of people are celebrating their time in the VC. I have about 10 days left, but then I'm also celebrating 5 years, I think, in the VC, or 6. I think 6. 27th of October 2000, 2010, I made my first VC video. I did it on Swedish, and I think I made 5 or 6 of those until I gave up and made them in English instead, and that's what we are doing today. I really love the VC. I hope to come back and contribute more, but I'm also on Instagram, and I think that's a great forum to just share records and learn about music while on the go. But the VC is still the primary form of learning. But I have a lot of records to show you, so let's get on with it. First of all, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, The Boatman's Call from 1997. This is the 2014 reissue. This is a masterpiece. Sounds great. And yeah, pick it up. Thanks, Derek, for showing me this on Instagram, actually. This is, and I'm going to slaughter the name, Masahiko Sato's Belladonna from 71 or 72. Free jazz, prog, psych record. Contains everything. A soundtrack to an anime film from Japan. It's just an amazing record. Fan-freaking-tastic. Check it out. The original goes for $1,000, but the reissue goes for 15 or something like that, and it sounds pretty good. So highly recommended. Now I'm gonna lose some subscribers, but I don't care. This is Faust's first record, a reissue. I don't know when they reissued this. 2007. I don't know. This is not my favorite record that I have in my collection. Let's put it that way. I have Faust 4 also, and that's a better record in my opinion. I've listened to this twice now, and I can't seem to wrap my head around it. I think it lacks some musicianship or something. It's experimental, it's krauty, it's cool, but it's not enough for me to really keep my interest going all the way through the record. I may be wrong. I have to revisit it because it's such an important krautrock record. But for now, it's just an okay record. 1976 in Norway, a group called Vanessa did Black and White, and it's a really good proggish jazz record on Compendium Records. There's the label there. It's kind of cool. Yeah, a little bit of an obscurity in the Nordic catalog. Highly recommended, and it's not super expensive. You can buy this for maybe 25-30 bucks, something like that. If you want a copy, I got it for a really good price from a seller online. Check it out if you're interested in that sort of music. You won't be disappointed. Maybe a little more jazz rock than prog, but yeah, you guys that like that won't be disappointed. A grail for me, I have to say, is Thomas Meragarts Sånger. So this is Swedish prog. Thomas Meragarts played the drums in Trägräs och Stenar. Before that he played drums in Harvester, and before that he played in International Harvester. So this is the 60s and going into the 70s. In 1975 he went into the studio because he was so bored at doing long 15-20 minute long jams. He wanted to do a solid folky singer-songwriter record. So Silence Records produced his first solo effort. But what you get is almost everyone from Trägräs och Stenar is playing on this one, along with a bunch of other more or less known Swedish prog musicians, because everyone loves Thomas Meragarts and wanted to play. So it's a really interesting, more of a acoustic proggy folk record. I'm not that keen in the vocals, but I don't listen so much at. I'm more of an instrumental guy, I think, when it comes to the prog. So I listen more to the music, and it's good. Next one, 1970, Charles Haydn, Liberation Music Orchestra. Arrangements by Carla Bley, and this is a French impulse press. And you guys out there, I logged everything that I own on Discogs, but I couldn't find this, so no one has contributed with this press yet. But what I want to know, Anders or anyone else that's watching that knows Impulse, these French presses with this label, are they original presses or are they reissues, later reissues, like late 70s, early 80s maybe, something like that? Because I don't think that the original US press even had this label. So please let me know if you see this. Big band free jazz with Don Cherry, Gatto Barbieri, Charlie Hayden, Carla Bley, Michael Mantler, yeah, a bunch of guys. Really good big band free jazz. Another record that I wanted for so long, but it's always been expensive, and this was also expensive. But I just pulled the trigger in a store. It's the only official. There's a bunch of pirates of this, but this is the original press of Lathyrus by Tool. 2 LP set, picture disc. There's the picture disc there. Besides being such a beautiful press, the music is amazing. I'm a huge Tool fan, and I just wish that they produce more of their music. So every 10th year we get a record from Tool. So glad to finally have this. It wasn't cheap, but glad to have it. In the same store I found a copy of Tim Hardin's first record with Reason to Believe, 1968, 67. Something like that. If you're into the Dylan and the folk movement, I think that Tim Hardin is right up your alley. And his first one, he died very young, 39 years old, of overdose, I think, but left some great music behind. And Reason to Believe is just a fantastic song. And I'm gonna try to get Tim Hardin's catalog, because I think that it's not that hard to get a hold of all the records cheap, and he seems to be a really interesting character. So, and in this store where I bought the Tool record and the Tim Hardin record, I bought this also. The thing is with this store, and maybe there's a lot of other stores that's like this, they are only open twice a month. And they have new and old records that they are selling, but it's in a fairly small town, so they don't flip as many records as maybe they should or would if they were in a bigger city. So there's a lot of reissues that doesn't get sold, but the price tag is still on there. So this has, and this is just my guess, this has been standing in the store since 2009 when this was issued, but no one bought it, or somewhere along that line, 2010, 11. So I got this for like 15-16 bucks. Iblis Supernova from 1972. Yeah, 72. Also a krautrock record, but more jazz rock record. Fantastic. This is a monster. I mean, 4 songs, 2 on each side, 6 minutes, 14 minutes, 13 minutes, and 9 minutes, and it's just not a bad second. The original go for really, really big money, but Tower Records did a great job reissuing this back in 2009. And I noticed that this goes for a little bit of money nowadays. I don't know if it's the only reissue of this, except for the original, to get it on vinyl, and they just made like 500 or 300 copies of it. But found it in a store for the original price back in the day. So that's kind of cool. Just quick here, in 1991 I think it is, Van Morrison did Hymns to the Silence, 2 record set of folky Irish songs by Van Morrison. And I'm not a huge Van Morrison fan. I got this for free, so if anyone needs this in their Van Morrison collection, hook me up with trades or anything, or else I'm gonna sell it, because it's worth a little bit of money, more than 0, and that's what I got it for. In the same store as the Iblis record, I also got finally a copy of In Absentia by Porcupine Tree. They're best in my opinion. I listened to this so much on the CD copy, so finally getting a vinyl version of this, it's kind of neat. And this wasn't cheap either. I think I paid 30 bucks for it. Sounds great, music quality is fantastic. Steve Wilson is a god. So yeah, happy. And the reason why, Volume 2, the Swedish jazz scene I think is really blooming, and maybe I've heard the last 3 years, maybe I've heard 0.0001% of it, but Goran Kaifes' Subtropic Orchestra, the reason why Volume 2 is as good as Volume 1, with Jonas Kullhammar, Per Rustresk Johansson, Johan Bertling, Reine Fiske, Jose Gonzalez is also on this with vocals. So if you're into the more astral jazz thing, and you want to listen to some new Swedish jazz music, check it out, really good. A record that I didn't like at all. I thought I would like it, but I didn't. I just I took a chance and failed. In my opinion, is Wild Weeds by Jeffrey Lee Pierce from 1985. This is a promo copy with the 7-inch single also. But this sounded too much like Gun Club, the band that he was in and sang in. I thought that it would be, I mean, I don't listen to records digitally that I'm really interested in, because I want the vinyl experience. When I find it for a good price, I buy it and then I get the experience. And sometimes it's really good, and sometimes it's bad. And this was bad. I didn't like the record at all. I'm gonna flip that also. So if you're interested, hook me up, or otherwise I'm gonna sell it. An okay free jazz record. Charles Bobishaw, Human Arts Ensemble, featuring Joseph Bowie, Junk Trap, 1976, 78 on Black Jazz. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's interesting, but it sounds almost like the guys on the picture. So drugged up. Fantastic drumming, and I have to say that the guitar was especially good. James Emery, which I have no idea who that is and what he's done before and after. Another one that was just okay, nothing mind-blowing, was Archie Shepp's There's a Trumpet in My Soul, 76. I think it's 76. Studio record, 75. Recorded in New York. Also free jazz, a little bit more rhythmic than the other stuff I've heard with Shepp, but I've heard so little, so maybe he's all about the rhythm thing. I don't know. Danish prog on Sonnet, Danish Sonnet, Savage Rose, psychedelic music more than prog maybe. They did a record a little bit before this. This is from 1978, 75 maybe, called Viljans Triumf, or Dödens Triumf, the Triumph of Death, which was a theatrical, a theater thing where they did the music, and it's really good. This is just okay. The vocals by a girl here reminds me a lot of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, kind of wailing, almost primal screaming, and that is the good part of that record. It's entertaining but not a masterpiece at all. And continuing on the Nordic prog theme, we have the one from Finland, Tasavalta Presidenti's first record. I think this is the first, from 70 or 71, on Svart Records. And Svart Records are releasing a lot of really cool, interesting, not only Finnish stuff, I think, but also Nordic reissues of hard to get records, with great sound quality and thick, almost cardboard gatefolds, and they do everything right, in my opinion. Yeah, Tasavalta Presidenti, really good. And the last one that I picked up today and listened to, and sounds amazing. Finally, I have this. Yeah, I have to say, one of my favorite records ever recorded, and in my opinion, it's better than Sgt. Pepper and it's better than Pet Sounds. But yeah, Zombies, or the Susan Oracle, 1978, 68. I mean, 68. 68? Yeah, 68. I mean, this starts fantastic with the first song, Carousel 44. It starts fantastic and then just goes. Every song is better than the last one, and the first one is a masterpiece. It's one song after another, which is just a masterpiece. Everything on this is good except Time of the Season, which I think is just a decent song, and it doesn't feel right to have it on this one. It's totally, I don't count that song with this record. It's more of a single from another pop band, in my opinion. But yeah, this is the new reissue that they did, 180 gram half speed master at Abbey Road Studios. So it sounds just fantastic, and I think that you can't cream out any better sound quality of the original reel than they did on this one. You have to go way back to get a better press. It sounds fantastic. So my reissue is going out also. I'm gonna sell that. So yeah, that's it. I hope you digged what I showed you, and please leave me comments if you have any. And hopefully I'll talk to you soon.